There's a fish. That was a good strike. I don't think this is a sunfish, guys. Dude, he's still pulling drag. Give it up. Give it up. You're caught. You're caught. You're caught, fish. What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Cross Country Bank Angler. I'm keeping my voice down just because it's travels so far in the place where I am right now. It's nice and quiet. I'm going to be doing a little bit of river exploring today. I'm going to be fishing a new river, place that I've never gone to before, with the bait finesse system setup. That's really been my preferred setup for wading this summer. So we're going to give it a shot again today. I can see the water there behind me. It's kind of a small forested river. Looks like a pretty sandy bottom. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of rock in here. Not a whole lot of current either. Looks like maybe mostly wood cover. Yeah, kind of just going to explore, see what kind of species live in here. You know, we got the BFS, so we can throw a few bigger lures like for bass or something like that, but we can also kind of downsize for like panfish as well. So, you know, it's getting to that point of like late summer in my area. We've got like a month of summer left, and you know, the fishing sometimes this time of year, you know, can start to slow down. It can get a little tougher. You know, the fish have been getting fished for all summer. The water's warm, which, you know, can stress the fish out, you know, make them a little bit sluggish, less aggressive. You know, they don't have quite that urge to feed that they did, you know, right after the spawn in early summer, or right before when they're packing on weight for the spawn. So we'll see what we can do out here. We're going to probably start off with like a reaction type bait and cover some water, you know, move through here. And yeah, hopefully we can catch like some smallmouth today, or some like nice sized sunfish or something like that. That's kind of the goal today. So have a few different baits, you know, maybe some new baits that I might try out here, but you know, we could really go through the entire water column today. It just depends on what the fish in here seem to want, you know, what they're reacting to. Do they want something on top? Do they want something slow on the bottom? Do they want a mid-column bait? So that's going to be, you know, part of the goal. You know, at a new spot, you're always trying to figure out how the fish are oriented, how they're feeding, where they're feeding, and what they're eating. So without further ado, you never know until you throw. So let's go. Alright guys, you can see it's actually a pretty steep bank right here, but the bottom of the river looks pretty shallow and flat. So I'm just going to try to slide down here, hopefully without getting too roughed up. Whoop. Ooh, a little muddy there. Okay, this bottom is a little softer than I was expecting, more of like a mud bottom, which is not great for wading. We'll see, guys. For all I know, we're gonna get a little ways upstream and we won't be able to go any further. I've got this jig spinner tied on. I've got a willow bladed jig spinner, which is not what I usually use. I made a few of these, you know, swapped out the blades back in the winter to try for some river fishing. So of course it fouled up on the first cast. I wanted to see what it looked like in the water. There we go. Saw something, look at it. Right there. There's a fish. It's a little red breast, guys. No surprise there to get a red breast. Check him out. He's kind of a streamlined one. Kind of washed out looking, probably a little female. Thank you, little fish. I've seen some bigger fish following it, but I think they're mostly bluegill. There's a fish. Feels a little better. I think it's another sunfish. Yeah, it's a better red breast, guys. Check them out. About a 4.5-inch fish, a little bit better than that last one. It's nice and quiet in here, I'll say that. But yeah, with this muddy bottom, it's deeper than it looks, which is not good, guys. I don't know how long we'll be able to even stay in here. A little fish. Oh, bluegill. Finally got one hooked. I've seen several kind of pecking at it. It's 2 species so far. Similar in size to the red breasts. See you, buddy. Trying to see if I can get across to the other bank, but I don't think I can. There's only so deep you can go with filming gear on. This left side looks shallower, but it's all silt. It's all mud. As you can hear, when I step it towards the mud, it gets too mushy. The bottom gets too mushy. So guys, I was fishing with my ultralight setup. You know, similar type of fishing to this, you know, in a creek, wading. And I've really noticed that I've been spoiled by the accuracy that you can get with a BFS setup. I just lost multiple lures during that trip, and I think if I'd been using BFS, I wouldn't have lost them. You can kind of, you know, with the control that you get with a bait caster with your thumb, if you see the lure flying into, you know, a snag, often you can stop it before it reaches the snag and save your lure. But with the spinning setup, it's a lot more difficult to do that. You can, but it's definitely tougher. Here's a fish, guys. Another red breast. I thought that was a bass at first. I'll give these guys some credit. They're pretty strong. For sunfish. See you, little fella. Water in here is not particularly clear. A little bit murkier than I would actually like for wading. But it is good for a little spinner like this. Not sure how far we'll be able to go, guys. It's getting kind of silty again, muddy. There's a fish. That was a good strike. I don't think this is a sunfish, guys. Oh no, it's not. It's a good bass. It looked like a smallmouth. Giving him some drag if he needs it. We have to play this fish out, guys. It looks like a good one. Come on, buddy. Whoa. Guys, this is a good fish. Wow, he's strong. Come here. You're caught. You're caught, Buster. We got you. Dude, this guy's not giving up. These smallmouth are so strong on this setup, guys. Come on, buddy. Come on in. We got you. Quit running. Look at that. He's still running. Goodness gracious. Whew. Guys, this is a good fish. Please stay hooked. Dude, he's still pulling drag. Give it up. Give it up. You're caught. You're caught. You're caught, fish. Stop. Look at this. This is the most stubborn fish. Come on. Come here. We got you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, people. Look at that fish. Look at that smallmouth. Let me get over to the bank. I can get a better look at him. There we go, guys. Look at that smallmouth. Gosh. That's like 15 inches, guys. Beautiful fish. Look at that. Dude, that thing fought incredibly well, too. Let's get a picture of this guy and get him back. Wow. That's a quality fish, guys. All right, guys, look at that. That's one of the biggest ones I've ever caught. On that little jig spinner, guys. That's one of my best baits for multi-species, and it can catch some big bass, too. All right, people, we just nailed this really nice smallmouth bass on a little jig spinner setup. Bobby garland and baby shad as a trailer, just a little 2-inch bait, a little willow bladed jig spinner. Gonna give this guy some time here to recover. He fought for a really long time, so he's probably pretty tired. I'm just gonna let him sit here. Actually biting my finger a little bit. All right, you can go. There he goes. Whew. Yes, people. Yes. With the kind of muddy bottom and, you know, not many rocks to speak of. There's a fish. It's another bluegill. He nailed it. The bluegill in here are not bad, guys. They're not really big, but they're not bad. Definitely a fun size for BFS. There we go, guys. That's a pretty bluegill. You get a picture of this one. This is probably the nicest one so far. All right, pretty bluegill. Thank you, buddy. There we go. I'm about to say, don't play dead on me. Oh. All right, guys, we just caught a little bass. Working this plastic worm over the top of these pads. We saw a fish kind of busting over here. I think it was this exact guy. And So we kind of reeled it back over where it was, where the blow up happened, and we caught a bass. Not particularly nice. He's just like about 9.5-inch fish. See you, buddy. There's a fish, guys. Feel we can get him out of the weeds. Definitely don't have the right setup for this kind of fishing. I was planning on fishing a creek today with the BFS, and it didn't pan out, or there wasn't as much access as we thought. So it's kind of an impromptu little session here. Another one hit it near the surface, guys. Not a big fish. Got one, guys. I'm actually shocked. That we caught anything from this lake, from the boat ramp. Because it's a Monday in the middle of nowhere, and there's still several boats out. It's a public place, you know, gets some pressure, clearly. It's like a 9-inch, maybe a 10-inch fish. It's catching fish, not big ones, but it's catching fish. He hit it pretty hard. I thought it was a bigger fish for a second. Like I said, this lake is known for numbers, not size. Well, guys, here's one of the risks of waiting in random areas. The little leech attached to my leg. I think I was waiting in a little pond earlier, and this guy decided to take a bite. These guys, you know, this looks kind of gross, but you know, these leeches, they have anticoagulants, and that's why the blood thins and kind of bleeds profusely. But there you go, guys. It's bound to happen eventually, to tell you the truth.